Right guys, second healthy dish of the week. Remember we're doing the 400 calories ones, or as close as we can to that. So tonight we're going to do a lamb korma. I've sort of speeded stuff up a little bit as well, just so we're not stood here waiting for things. And you can follow these tips if you really want. So, first of all, we want 50 grams of onion, diced. So, I'm just going to dice this up. However comfortable you feel. I'm going to go for quite small. So I'd say great response for the raffle. It's all full, so I'll look at drawing that later on this evening. Just cut that down. Right, so we're going to sweat these onions off first. I will put the recipe up. I'm using a little bit of veg oil. The recipe's olive oil, or use fry like that, will bring it down a little bit more as well. So this recipe's for 4. It'll serve 4 people, and it's 300. I think it's 353 or something. 353 calories or something like that per portion. But then remember, you've got to include your side, whatever you go with. So obviously it'll be lower if you go with like a steamed sort of veg. So like I said last night, go something similar, those sort of lines. Maybe a little bit of corn, broccoli, like the baby corn, some broccoli, something like that, steam it off. That'd be quite nice. Or if you go for rice, try and go for like the wild rice or the brown rice, that's a bit lower. Or I don't know, we're doing like a little flatbread. We've done that tonight, earlier on, from the recipe that we use, with the low-fat natural yoghurt. So it's basically just zero-fat yoghurt and flour. We mix that together. You could do it with wholemeal flour. So you get almost like a chapati sort of to it. So I just want to sweat the onions down. Like I said, I've designed this one to be a bit quicker. So what I did this morning is I got the lean diced lamb. So that's 350 grams of lean diced lamb. I popped it in the slow cooker on low. Yep, so I wanted it. I don't want it so it's like falling to bits so it's like gravy. It still wants to hold itself in a shape, but tender. And that's just cut down my time really, because otherwise it'll take 30 to 35 minutes in the pan, and then you're looking at me for 30 to 35 minutes, which is never good. So the next thing to put in, once these are sweated down, we've got the korma paste, whichever one you want. If you are more advanced, make it, that's absolutely fine. I'm just trying to create meals that are really, really quick. So if we've got the lamb done already, you can even do that and have it in the fridge, cooked, ready to go. So 4 tablespoons of korma paste, yeah? So we're going to put this straight into the dry pan. I will put the recipe up. I'll try and get it on tonight with the method and everything. I was a bit lackadaisy with the Hunter's chicken one, so someone pulled me up on that one. So that one is up in the topics now. So we'll just fry this out a little bit, just to start releasing those flavours. Like I say, if you want to make a paste, we can try and find you one or have a look online. There's loads of recipes for that. It just means that you're going to have a hell of a lot of ingredients and spices. This way we're only using one core product, and it's wham bam, it's another sort of 15-20 minutes and it's done. We've produced something. You can start adding other stuff to this if you want to bulk it out. Aubergines are quite good, like something like aubergines and mushrooms. Put some of them in, that'll bulk it out a little bit, so it's going a bit further. Right, so the next job is I'm going to put the spinach in. I'm using frozen spinach. I'm a massive lover of this frozen spinach from Morrison's, simply because it just means we've got it all the time. So it's the little pellets, it's the whole one. It's the whole leaf, not the chopped one. The chopped one is pretty nasty, to be honest. But these ones, it means we've got it all the time, and we use it quite a lot in stews, casseroles, anything like that. Even like the curries, we use it all the time. So we've got roughly about 50 grams of spinach. If you want to use fresh, absolutely. But if you're using fresh, add it at a later stage. So add it near the end because it wilts down really quick. I'm just doing this now just to get it defrosted a little bit. So it might be this recipe might be something that's no good to you and you're not bothered. It might be something that you've already been doing, but it's just trying to give people a little idea of how quick we can do something. And I think even with your rice on top, I don't know what a portion of rice comes in at. Other people that are doing the calorie counting will know better than me, but I would imagine for a small portion you're looking about 100 calories maybe. So add that onto that. It's about 453 calories, which I still don't think is bad. Add a little bit of veg on the side. It's not bad for your evening meal, under 500 calories. Take out the lamb, add it with pork, it doesn't matter, add it with chicken. I just wanted to show a little different, because we always do with the chicken and stuff like that, so using the red meat is just a nice sort of change. Right, next I'm going to hit it with coconut milk. So it's 400 gram tin. No, mils. 400 grams. Where am I? 400 mils tin of coconut milk. Use whichever you want. I'm using the full. I've calculated it. It will be a bit higher with the full, but I just like that. So the recipe that I've got will be the lower, reduced one. As you can see, my body's not built for calorie counting. So I like it with that one. Obviously, to follow that spot on, use the reduced fat one. So, get the spinach cooking down. You can smell it already, it's really, really nice. Right, so, we don't want to add the lamb too early, because I don't want it to break up to mush. I just want it at the end. Once this comes to the boil, then what we need to do is at the end, just add the lamb and just warm it through gently. If you start boiling stuff, it's just going to break to smithereens. But for me, that's the perfect way to do it, in that slow cooker, just with a little bit of water, nothing else, just water. We got some beautiful lamb, and it's not going to mush. It's just really, really nice. I think I flicked my jeans there. Oh well. Right, so tomorrow I'm going to do some chicken tikka skewers. I know we've done them before, but I'm going to try and reduce the calorie content on them and do a different recipe. Yeah, I've just got some flatbreads on the go for these that I did earlier. The recipe's up there if you want to think. I haven't got the calorie count on these, but I could probably find out. So they're just the ones, basically just zero fat yogurt, flour, a bit of baking powder, a really hot dry pan, and just sear them off. I very rarely now, I'll make the naans as well when I've got more time, but obviously they just need to, they've got the yeast in it, so they need to prove. So they're a bit more faffy. They take about an hour to prove, and then you can cook them. But the flatbreads are instant, so they're pretty good for stuff like this, just for dipping. Right. Obviously, if I was using fresh spinach, this would be this would be done now. Just waiting for this frozen. You can defrost it in the microwave first. I should have done that really, but never mind. Right. I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of lemon. You can use lime if you want. Just use a little bit of lemon just for freshness. So I think I've got a pip in there. Right. So So use lemon or lime. I'm just using half a small one. Right, we'll just stir that all in. That's looking pretty good now. So I'm just going to get the lamb. As you can see, it's not breaking apart. Still whole pieces. So we're just going to dot that around. You want the leanest one that they do. Like I say, if you're doing if you've got 4 hungry people at home, I'd just add some bits to it, like a bit of diced aubergine, stuff like that, mushrooms. Just do them into either like halves or wholes if they're small. The small mushrooms, do them into wholes. That's fine. Just cook that all down. I'll put the recipe up where the lamb is fried off first and then we add the sauce, but it does take about, I think it's about 30 to 35 minutes to break that lamb down. That's the only reason that I've done it, just for speed. Same as yesterday when we pre-did the chicken. I don't mind doing that, it just gives you a little bit less time in the kitchen. Now if you're not really a lover of the kitchen, it's just doing your tea. You want to be reducing those times as much as you can really. But still producing something that's of some sort of standard. So this is a real nice dish. You wouldn't think it was like a lower calorie one. So I'm just going to add a touch of salt. You don't have to, but I'm a big lover of everything needs to be seasoned. Not over seasoned, but just nicely seasoned, and a little bit of pepper. I think I spoke about it yesterday with the lower calorie dishes. It is all about flavour. You get out what you put in, really. And the Asian, Indian and Thai ones are the ones that you focus on really. They're the ones that are going to pack you with a lot of punch, and you know, you're going to get that flavour with it rather than it just being quite bland. You know, we said about it yesterday, if you get a piece of boiled chicken and boiled veg, it's going to taste like boiled chicken and boiled veg. We need to do something with it to make it a bit more exciting and not think that you're on this diet all the time. Your meals need to be enjoyable. You don't want to think, oh God, I've got to eat that again. And that's what it's all about, you know, making things enjoyable. So that's pretty much done now. So all I'm going to finish it with is about 50 grams of coriander. Absolutely don't have to. If you don't like coriander, don't put it on. So, a bit of coriander over the top. Up there. Like I say, you'll have to just calculate your own side to this. But imagine if it'll be very low if you're just having sort of some steamed veg with it. Depends what you're into. Right, where's my spoon? Now just dot a little bit of natural yoghurt over the top and we'll just swirl that in. Just like that. And that, I'm going to serve that up in a second. So that's lamb korma. That was pretty quick as well, to be fair. Right, on mine I'm just going to do it with a little bit of rice. Just got this quick rice because I'm like everyone else. I don't want to be spending 3 hours in kitchen. Maybe you like that. So a little bit of rice on the side. I've just used about a quarter of a bag each. Got these lovely little flatbreads on there. Really, really hot these. So just put them on there. And then a bit of the curry on the side. I'm trying to design them to be really, really super quick for us, really. That's obviously why I'm doing the the pre-cooking of the meat and stuff like that. It just saves us time in the end. So what I'll do is I'll just spin this round, guys, if we can. So quick lamb korma there. I think it was about 350. I think it's 353 or something like that. I will post it all up later. I've got the full breakdown of it. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good for a lower calorie meal. Obviously forget the bread, but just serve it with something, veg or something like that. Right, so that's the korma. I'll be doing the raffle later on. I'll tag a few people in that have got the numbers for that, and we'll see who wins that lovely apron. Right guys, thanks for watching again. I'll be back on tomorrow. Chicken tikka skewers. They're about 200 and something calories. That's only for two, mind. Depends how hungry you are. But I'll speak to you all tomorrow, guys. See you later.